At 9:00 p.m., nothing seemed unusual. Families were eating dinner. Children were preparing for bed. The air was calm. The night was quiet. In the distance, Lake Nyos rested in silence, still, dark, unmoving. And then something changed, not with a sound, not with an explosion, but with a shift so subtle no one noticed it happening. Deep beneath the surface of the lake, pressure had been building for years, invisible, undetectable, a slow accumulation of gas, rising from the earth below, carbon dioxide, trapped under layers of water, compressed by depth, waiting. At exactly the wrong moment, that balance broke, and the lake released it, all at once. A massive column of gas erupted from the depths, forcing its way upward through the water. But unlike steam or smoke, this gas behaved differently. It did not rise. It fell, spilling over the edges of the lake like an invisible flood, flowing downhill faster than anyone could react, into valleys, into homes, into the air people were breathing. At first, no one understood. There was no smell, no visible cloud, just a strange heaviness in the air. Breathing became difficult, then impossible. People collapsed where they stood. No panic, no time to run, just silence. Entire families were found together, as if they had simply fallen asleep. But they hadn't. They had suffocated. Over 1,700 people died that night, thousands of animals as well. And when morning came, the landscape was still, unnaturally still. Survivors woke into a world that no longer moved. Villages without voices, paths without footsteps, a silence so complete it felt unreal. This was Lake Nyos, and what happened here would become one of the strangest natural disasters ever recorded, because there was no fire, no explosion, no visible destruction, only an invisible force that moved through the land and left nothing behind but loss. To understand how this happened, you have to go deeper, far beneath the surface of the lake. Lake Nyos is not just a lake. It sits inside a volcanic crater, a remnant of ancient activity, still alive beneath the earth. Deep below, magma slowly releases gases, including carbon dioxide. Over time, this gas seeps upward, into the lake above. But instead of escaping into the air, it dissolves into the water, like gas in a sealed bottle. The deeper the water, the more pressure it holds, and the more gas it can contain. Layer by layer, the bottom of the lake becomes saturated, heavily concentrated, unstable. And yet, from the surface, everything looks normal. That's what makes it dangerous, because nothing appears wrong until something triggers it. Scientists still debate what caused the release that night. Some believe a landslide disturbed the water. Others suggest a sudden cooling event, a shift in temperature that caused the layers to mix. But whatever the cause, it was enough. Enough to release years of built-up pressure in seconds. This type of event is called a limnic eruption. Rare, unpredictable, and extremely dangerous, because once it begins, it cannot be stopped. The gas expands rapidly as it rises, pushing more water upward, releasing even more gas. A chain reaction, faster and faster, until everything is released, all at once. And because carbon dioxide is heavier than air, it stays low, moving along the ground, filling valleys, replacing oxygen, turning breathable air into something else entirely. A trap. Invisible. Silent. Unavoidable. After the disaster, scientists rushed to the area, trying to understand what had happened, trying to make sure it would never happen again. They discovered that Lake Nyos was still dangerous. The gas was still there, still building, still waiting. So they created a solution, a system of pipes placed deep into the lake. These pipes allow gas to slowly escape, controlled, continuous, preventing pressure from reaching dangerous levels. Today, Lake Nyos is monitored, studied, watched carefully, but it is not safe. Not completely, because the system depends on balance, and balance can fail. Standing at the edge of the lake today, you would see nothing unusual. The water is calm. The surface is still. Birds fly overhead. The wind moves gently across the hills. It feels peaceful, but beneath that surface, the same process continues. Gas accumulates, pressure builds, and the potential for another event remains. Lake Nyos is not alone. There are other lakes in the world with similar conditions. Deep, volcanic, capable of holding gas, which means this could happen again somewhere else without warning. And that's what makes this story so unsettling. Because it's not just about the past, it's about possibility. A reminder that not all disasters announce themselves. Not all dangers are visible. Some exist quietly, building over time, hidden beneath the surface of places that seem completely safe. A calm lake, a quiet night, and then nothing. No sound, no signal, no escape. Just silence. And in that silence, everything can end. Lake Nyos, the lake that exploded overnight, without a single sound and without a second chance.